What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the What's Next on Shakur Stevenson, the undefeated former 2-division world champion now, as he's coming off of another, another victory defeating Robson Conceicao in what was supposed to be a title defense of his former 2 belts, the unified title that he had at 130, as he held the WBC and WBO belts. Stevenson came in overweight and decided to not make the weight, citing that it was too hard to make the weight anymore, and the belts went vacant. He lost the titles on the scales. The fight went forward. The belts are on the line for Conceicao, but Stevenson went in there and dominated, scored a one-sided 12-round decision, stayed undefeated. The belts remained vacant. Well, now Stevenson has confirmed that he's moving up to 135. He's not going to be returning to the 130-pound division. So now the big question with him moving up in weight is what's next for Shakur Stevenson at lightweight. So let's jump in and take a look at the top 10 there and see what could be going on next for Stevenson. Well, first up is the undefeated, undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin Haney. Haney is fighting George Kambosos on Saturday, October 15th. I believe he's going to beat Kambosos, and he should be able to, hold on to all the belts. He's with Top Rank. A third fight is there, but I think they're reserving that fight for Vasily Lomachenko in the first half of the year. So I don't think Stevenson's going to get Devin Haney next. I think it's possible, if for some reason Lomachenko, you never know what's going to happen in the Ukraine, all that issue, if Lomachenko wants to go another route. But I think Lomachenko wants to fight for the titles, and I think he's going to get that fight before Stevenson. So I don't think the fight's going to happen next, but I wouldn't completely rule it out just because Stevenson's a big name and he's undefeated and he's young, and Devin Haney's a big name, undefeated, young, and the undisputed champ. So not going to completely count it out, but you never know. Next is George Kambosos, the former unified champ. Now, he's fighting Devin Haney. I think he's going to lose the rematch to Haney. Would Kambosos be into fighting Shakur Stevenson, his debut at 135, official debut, coming off back-to-back losses? I don't think so. It is a big fight, but I don't think Kambosos wants to fight a third straight, fight and come in as the underdog again against a guy with the skill level of Shakur Stevenson. So I'd like to see it. I wouldn't completely rule it out, but I really don't think that's possible. Teofimo Lopez has moved on to 140. Vasily Lomachenko, I don't think he's possible next for Stevenson. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm ruling out a possible showdown in 2023 between these two fighters. I could see these two guys in the second half of the year. If Lomachenko beats Devin Haney, I can see Shakur Stevenson and Lomachenko locking horns in the second half of the year for the undisputed title. I definitely think that's possible. We'll see. But not next. Next is Tank Davis. The promotions are going to ruin this fight from being possible. There's no way this fight is going to be considered or happen next. The promoters are just, I don't even think the discussions will happen just because the promoters and their pride and their ego with the networks and all that. I don't see it. So no. Next is Ryan Garcia. Well, Garcia has officially moved up to 140 unless he gets a big fight at 135. And I don't think he'd come down, and I don't think Stevenson would want him because he's so much naturally bigger than him. Bad matchup. Then you have Golden Boy and Top Rank duking it out. I don't think that's going to happen. So no. Joseph Diaz Jr. Now, JoJo is fighting William Zepeda in November. If he beats him, I wouldn't completely rule JoJo out from being interested in this fight, but Top Rank and Golden Boy would have to work together, and I just don't see them working together right now for that fight. So I'm going to say no to that fight happening next. Not to say it couldn't happen in the future, though. Zaur Abdullayev. I'm not sure who his promotion is, but I definitely think this is a good option for Stevenson in his first fight for a couple reasons. One, Abdullayev's coming off of that come from behind stoppage win over Jorge Linares. That was a nice win. But Abdullayev has also been knocked out against Devin Haney, so Stevenson, that's a measuring stick type fight. How good am I? Can I top what Haney did? Can I go and knock this guy out and beat him, period? You know, I think it's a good test opponent for his first fight, and he's coming off of a big win over Linares. So I don't know who his promotion is, but if Top Rank can work with Abdulayev, I wouldn't be surprised if this fight gets made. Then you got Javier Fortuna, former world title challenger, moved up to 140, struggled with the weight, and fought Ryan Garcia and got dominated. I don't think Fortuna would want to fight with Stevenson, coming off a knockout loss to Garcia. Not sure Stevenson would want that fight, because what does it prove? You know, really. And if he doesn't beat him in the timely fashion that Ryan Garcia did, now I think he gets a lot of criticism there. So, yeah, I don't see it. Jorge Linares, not seeing that one. He's coming off of a loss. I don't think he'd sign up to fight a guy at the skill level of Stevenson next. Richard Comey moved up to 140 officially, so that fight's not possible. Isaac Cruz, wouldn't completely rule it out. I like Isaac Cruz. If the promotions can get together, and I don't think they will. I think Cruz is going to line himself up with the Tank Davis rematch. Stevenson's with Top Rank, so I just don't see the two sides working together. Gustavo Lemos knocked out Lee Selby, undefeated. Definitely an interesting option right here for Stevenson if the fight can be made. And then Jeremiah Nakathila. Stevenson already handled Nakathila at 120, at 126, I think they fought. No, at 130. He already handled him. I believe that was last year. So there's no need for a rematch. But another option is Masahiro Nakatani. That fight would be a good one. Nakatani, you know, has lost to Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, but he works with Top Rank, and he's right there for a guy like Shakur Stevenson, and I don't think that's a bad option. So I think that one is maybe the most logical and easiest fight to make at 135 for Shakur Stevenson right now. Other options, I think Abdulayev would be a good one, and Gustavo Lemos, if they're going for top tier guys right out the gate. They might line Stevenson up in a, you know, kind of a stay busy fight, but if they're smart and they want him to potentially fight the winner of Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, then I think they should line him up against a top tier guy like Abdulayev, like a top tier second level guy like Abdulayev or Nakatani, a guy that has a name but is not a huge name, but is a viable lightweight contender. That's what I think they need to do for Shakur Stevenson. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but that's what's next on the undefeated former 2-division champion Shakur Stevenson, following a dominant 12-round unanimous decision victory over Robson Conceicao, as he came in overweight and fought Conceicao where the titles were on the line. The two titles at 130 were on the line for Robson Conceicao. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.